Hey everyone, this is Kenny from Condo Here, your guide to the pre-construction market. Now in this video, we're going to be talking about the top 5 closing costs that you need to know when purchasing a pre-construction property. Now do keep in mind that closing costs do vary from province to province. So in this video, we're only going to be focusing on purchasing a property in Ontario. So without further ado, let's begin. Number one, and often most expensive, is land transfer tax. Now, there's no way around this. It's a mandatory government tax that every purchaser in Ontario has to pay, and in other provinces as well. Now, the amount you pay depends on the area and is also a sliding scale. So the more expensive the property you purchase, the more land transfer tax you end up paying at the end. Now, I have included a land transfer tax calculator in the video description below, so feel free to check that out. Let's just say, for example, you purchase a property for $500,000. The total Ontario land transfer tax payable would be $6,475. However, if that property was located in Toronto, you'll be paying an additional tax. You'll be paying an Ontario land transfer tax as well as a Toronto land transfer tax. So rather than paying $6,475, you'll be paying a total of $12,200. Now, something to keep in mind, because it does depend on the area, Toronto does cost more. It's almost double the price. So if you purchase a property in Markham or Vaughan or Mississauga, for example, you're only paying the Ontario portion. Also, if you are a first-time buyer, meaning you've never owned any property before in the world, you do get government incentives such as a $4,000 instant rebate applied directly to the land transfer tax, which helps tremendously. So for example, if you purchase a property for $368,000 or less, you pay 0 land transfer taxes, assuming you're a first-time buyer. Number 2 are development levies. Now, what are development levies? Basically, these are taxes charged by the government to fund nearby parks, schools, roads, sewers, etc. The government just wants to make sure that when a 40-story tower is being built, it's not going to take anything away from the existing community. Everyone has to pay their fair share. Now, what you pay depends on the project, depends on the area, and depends on the size. So for example, a 1-bedroom unit will pay less levies than a 2-bedroom unit. Now, it's very important to make sure your levies are capped in your purchase agreement. So you want to make sure on the purchase agreement, it should say something like, you won't be paying anything more than this amount on closing. Now, a lot of buyers tend to forget this step, and to me, it's really one of the most important things that you need to be aware of. There could be a large amount of money that you just weren't prepared for on closing. Now, having the levies uncapped goes without saying, it's potentially very dangerous because you just don't know what that amount will be until a few years down the road. And I've heard horror stories of tens of thousands of dollars that were unexpectedly due on closing. Now, the good builders will automatically cap that amount for you on the purchase agreement. Otherwise, if it's not, you have to request it to your real estate lawyer or your realtor. Now, the average cap for a 1-bedroom typically falls in the $4,000 to $6,000 range, and a 2-bedroom unit is around $9,000, $10,000 on average. Now, a lot of projects will be under this or over this, but this is just a ballpark figure. Number 3 are lawyer fees. You'll need a real estate lawyer to close the transaction for you and to make sure all the financial and legal obligations are met. They'll also add your name on title and to make sure to provide you with keys on closing. Now, to choose a real estate lawyer, it's always best to go with a family or friend referral, and the average price ranges from $1,500 to $2,000. Number 4 is Tarion warranty. Now, Tarion is a new home program provided by the government of Ontario that ensures that the builders follow the rules and regulations and thereby protecting the consumers. Now, all pre-construction projects has to be enrolled in Tarion, and the Tarion fee is always paid for by the buyers. Now, Tarion provides protection on deposits, compensation for closing delays. It provides warranty on work defects and warranty on structural defects as well. Now, the prices range, but it averages from $1,000 to $2,000 depending on the purchase price. Number 5 is utility hookup fees. This is pretty self-explanatory. This is basically just utility companies coming in and setting up the utilities for the first time. Thankfully, this only costs usually about a couple $100, but make sure to review this on your purchase agreement. And there you have it. Those are the top 5 closing costs that you need to know when you purchase a pre-construction condo. You just have to realize that the price you see on the price list isn't going to be the price that you pay at the end. There are extra costs involved. So be sure to have everything reviewed beforehand to make sure you are more prepared and that you know what to expect at the end. And that's it. This is Kenny from Condo Here, and I hope you learned something new today. I'll see you next time.